would have to rebuild all 3 facilities entirely, which would likely take years to do.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House. That's after an initial Pentagon assessment suggesting that there was only perhaps limited damage in Iran, and that was leaked to the media, prompting the White House to say it'll only give limited information and briefings on the airstrikes to the Senate today and House tomorrow. Kilmar Abrego Garcia remains jailed, even though a federal judge in Tennessee wants to release him while the alleged gang member awaits trial. But she's concerned immigration agents could take him into custody and try to deport him again.
Garcia was mistakenly deported to El Salvador earlier this year, despite a judge's decision in 2019 protecting him from deportation over fears of gang persecution. When he was returned from El Salvador, he was charged with human trafficking.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Prosecutors will start closing arguments today at Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial in federal court in New York. America's listening to Fox News.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info is protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Not guilty. That's what a House Democrat pleaded in federal court, vowing to fight the charges stemming from a scuffle that Congresswoman LaMonica McIver had with immigration agents last month.
New Jersey Democratic Congresswoman LaMonica McIver is charged with assaulting, resisting, and impeding Homeland Security investigators during a May visit to the Delaney Hall Detention Center. She represents the 10th Congressional District, which includes Newark, where the facility is located, and pleaded not guilty on Wednesday, saying the case is about, quote, political intimidation.
The Trump administration and his, him and his colleagues or cronies, whatever you want to call them, have weaponized the federal government.
McIver and other Democratic lawmakers say they were on an inspection visit at the center as part of their congressional oversight role. In New York, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
A police officer is recovering in stable condition in Santa Monica, California, the morning after being shot.
Santa Monica Police Chief Ramon Batista says an officer recognized an individual believed to be wanted in connection with a prior incident when the suspect opened fire with a handgun.
The suspect fired multiple rounds at the officer and fled the area on foot.
The suspect arrested thanks to a tip after police shared a photo online describing him as a black man in his 30s. Chief Batista says officials believe the suspect is homeless and could be the same individual who recently shot and injured 2 teens riding in a Waymo. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising up more than 100 points for the Dow and the NASDAQ. The NBA draft started last night and history was made.
The Nets became the first team ever with 5 players in the first round of a draft. The evening began as expected, with the Dallas Mavericks selecting Cooper Flagg out of Duke. Then Dylan Harper from Rutgers went to the Spurs. The 76ers picked third and went with VJ Edgecombe from Baylor. The Hornets took Con Knippel from Duke with the 4th pick. Ace Bailey from Rutgers went 5th to the Utah Jazz.
That's Fox's Jared Max. Round 2 of the draft is tonight. I'm Dave.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Thursday edition of the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. It is now June 26, 2025. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordy, and he's on standby. Will join us in about 3 minutes. Take a look at the chance of rain, if there's any. Also a look at the tropics. A Valley native who died while serving in the Navy will be remembered tomorrow in Brownsville. Seaman Angelina Presentes was found dead in Norfolk, Virginia, earlier this month. She had been missing for 2 weeks. There will be a viewing and then a funeral in Brownsville tomorrow. The Navy is still investigating. One person currently in pretrial custody in connection with her death. It's 7:06 on the Valley's Morning News. The state of Texas is ending the private operations of a jail in Willacy County. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice will be taking over the operation of that facility that's currently run by a private management company. Employees who currently work at that facility are being encouraged to apply for state jobs. University of Texas Rio Grande Valley announcing yesterday that athletics director Chase Cox's contract has been extended through 2031. His title is also changing, not only athletics director, but also now a vice president at the university. Cox has worked with UTRGV for about 6 years, and officials say that his leadership has been crucial in starting the football program and women's swimming and diving programs at the university, also overseeing a $180 million athletic facility improvement project. At 7:07 on the Valley's Morning News. Governor Greg Abbott vetoed a bill that would have banned hemp containing THC in Texas. But it does not mean that he's done with this issue.
He's called for a 30-day special session, and SB 3 will be among the items on the agenda. Cynthia Cabrera, president of the Texas Hemp Business Council, says these products containing Delta 8 and 9 have been regulated and legal since 2019. Are there rules already that you have to be 18 or 21 to purchase these products?
No, that's the thing they forgot. And so for 3 sessions, our industry has tried to get an age regulation bill passed. And for 3 sessions, we have been ignored. Very little support from the Senate.
She says there's already testing required. Stores must be registered with the state, pay fees, disclose the location, agree to inspections, and they have to follow FDA guidelines. She adds most stores have also pushed for child-resistant packaging and gotten little support. Barbara Schwartz, News Talk 710 KURV.
It's 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News. Another legislative-related news. The ink barely had time to dry on that 10 Commandments bill that Governor Abbott signed into law before the first legal challenges popped up.
Senate Bill 10 requires the 10 Commandments be posted in every public school classroom. Shortly after Governor Abbott signed it into law Saturday, his attention clearly on defending it.
I defended the 10 Commandments mighty on the Texas Capitol grounds. We went to the Supreme Court and won. We will win on this 10 Commandments law also.
And the first lawsuit filed coming from a Dallas coalition of Christian and Nation of Islam leaders and families, arguing the law is a violation of the separation of church and state. It reads the government should govern, the church should minister. Anything else is a threat to the soul of both our democracy and our faith. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
The time is 7:09 on the Valley's Morning News. Coming up right after AccuWeather, how some researchers in Pennsylvania are working to flip a deadly fungus into a cancer fighter, potential cancer fighter. They're seeing some success in that. Coming up right after AccuWeather. Big thank you to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch providing us 7 o'clock AccuWeather. Purina Feed, it is the best. That's why Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch, that's why they carry it. Certified dealer for Purina Feed is Martin Farm and Ranch, Edinburgh. I'm Monte Cristo. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Norton joining. And I noticed that the word thunderstorm, thunder shower, not written up in here. So are we done with the rain, or what's the plan today, tomorrow?
Today and tomorrow, yeah, pretty much it's a low enough chance that we took it out. So we're more or less going to be looking at a cloudy day today than sunshine, 94 degrees, and then tomorrow partly sunny, 95. Saturday we kept it in, and Sunday too. It's more or less like a spotty thunder shower in each afternoon, but there will be times where it's dry. Temperatures at that point 95 to 91, and then it's steady as she goes next week. Kind of the mid to upper 90s, no triple digits in sight, at least for McAllen and areas east.
Okay. Tropical coverage 2025. Anything new to report?
Well, the latest came out, and we're pretty much still looking at that low risk for rain and wind impacts along the southeast coast from the holiday through July 7th. A couple of tropical waves are out there, and really the one that would be doing anything is potentially the one over by Cuba, turning sharply to the east, giving the southeast portion of the U.S. a potential of some impacts.
Okay, Texas travel, we're good. Next 48.
Texas travel, we're okay in some spots. So Dallas is good, sunny to partly cloudy, 93 to 94. A couple of thunderstorms today in Houston, 90 to 93, the highs, and San Antonio is nice and dry.
All right, Val, let's see what's on the menu for today. Chocolate pudding. There you go. We got some chocolate pudding.
Yum.
For today.
needs to be put in with. Oh, by the way, Dairy Queen has reintroduced the Dirt Blizzard. You know what that is, right?
So it's like what, like Oreo crumbs, Oreo cookie crumbs?
Yeah, so it's
Like
Oreo mixed with their, obviously their ice cream, and then gummy worms. Yes.
Gummy worms and anything, man, is always good.
Exactly. The only thing they need to make it a true dirt sundae is add the chocolate pudding. Because Ground Round, which I don't. Did you have any of those? Do you know of those?
No, I don't.
No, okay. Well, they went out of business, so it's kind of a sad thing. But
Well,
anyways, they served it, and it was my childhood snack.
So that was like what, like an ice cream shop, kind of like
No, Ground Round was a restaurant, a sit down restaurant, but it just never really held, to the competition.
All right. Well, yeah. Dairy Queen beat him to a pulp.
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah. They're not paying you to promote that.
Absolutely not. I wish they were, because I would.
That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on 710 KURV, and that is your AccuWeather forecast. Again, highs today should be around mid-90s. Researchers at Stanford University, they got some good news and bad news on heart disease. They say over the past 50 years, heart attacks have dropped 90%. But the bad news is that deaths from all other types of heart disease have gone up about 80%. And here's the note that I promised you, the medical note. Researchers are working to turn a deadly fungus into a potent cancer-fighting compound.
According to a study published in the journal Nature, researchers at the University of Pennsylvania recently used Aspergillus flavus after isolating a new class of molecules from it in a test against leukemia cells, and it resulted in those cells being killed. Aspergillus flavus is a toxic crop fungus. It's been linked to deaths in the excavation of ancient tombs. Researchers say the next step is to test those compounds on animals, with hope of one day moving to human clinical trials. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Time is 7:13 on the Valley's Morning News. Heads up, if you are an employer, a business owner, manager, you need some people. Chances are you need some people. Hard to find some good people in the market. You got job openings left and right. There's some careers that are in high demand right now. Construction, IT, as the economy is expanding rapidly. Conversation with Dr. Carlos Margo. They've got a pre-internship program that is taking place at STC, apprenticeship program, that is pre-apprenticeship program at South Texas College that leads to an apprenticeship program. Get those people on your front lines of manufacturing and construction. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic, available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
Nothing says summer like a cold glass of lemonade, especially when it's made with love by the campers at Camp University. Our lemonade stand isn't just about quenching your thirst. It's about teaching real-life business skills and customer service skills to adults with disabilities. Join us for a refreshing treat on July 9th from 12:30 to 2 at 4200 North Main Street in McAllen. So grab your friends, bring the kids, stop by for a sip and a smile, and see how excited our campers will be to see you.
Charlie Kirk here, host of The Charlie Kirk Show, inviting you to stay tuned for The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez, coming up a little later on this morning starting at 9 on News Talk 710 KURV.
Appreciate you tuning in. 710 AM radio, KURV. You're doing everything online, aren't you? Right? We all do. You're scrolling, going all those apps and social sites. Why don't you discover Radio Para Mi? 710 KURV, right in the mix. All those radio stations from Radio United. We're the redheaded stepchild of the family. The only news talker right there. 710 KURV is at the free app called Radio Para Mi. Download it today. .710 KURV. We invite you to join us online as well at 710 KURV, the live YouTube channel, especially 7 o'clock in the morning on the morning news. The 710 KURV X Live, Facebook Live. And all that video is good because we repurpose and then we shoot it downstream. It's online. So these conversations get a lot of traffic. I want to say thank you to our guest, Dr. Carlos Margo, Dean of Industry, Training, and Economic Development at South Texas College. Dr. Margot, welcome back to the program. I know a few days ago you had a chance to speak to some youth, some foster youth here in Hidalgo County, and some programs, some pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship programs. So recap that conversation. What did you share with these kids and folks at the court?
Thank you, Sergio, for having me on. And yes, we had a very good opportunity. As dean, I oversee a lot of the workforce training programs, non-credit, not necessarily degree programs, but certification programs. And this is available for anybody 16 years of age and older. And we had the opportunity recently to address and to reach an audience of foster youth, thanks to the help of Judge Carlos Villalon, who allowed us to do so in his courtroom, to be able to have access to convey this message to this group. And he also recorded the message as well. There were some that could not attend. Some were attending online.
Good.
But, at the end, the message to them was, we have programs at South Texas College that are short term. In less than 6 months, you can get certified in an array of different industries without having to spend years taking classes. We asked that they give us a commitment to 80 hours and we can get them certified. And I was really focusing on our three more popular areas: construction technician, computer user support, which is an IT program, and industrial maintenance for manufacturing. Those are our top three areas where there are a lot of job openings right now in the Rio Grande Valley. Excellent. They just need people with skills and credentials. And my message to the foster youth was, the sooner you can get in one of these programs, the sooner you can get a good paying job right off the bat, without having to wait longer than 6 months.
Yeah, and it's at age 16 plus. The clock is ticking on these huerquillos because they age out of the foster system at 18. So it's important to get them in there while we can. Now, is it paid for, all these classes? If they decide to do something like this, would that be paid for by the state, where they don't have to worry about tuition and books and just get that skill set that they need to make some money?
And that's another good point, Sergio, that you bring that up, because this will be paid for by a grant from the Texas Workforce Commission.
Excellent.
That's why I invited the state director from the TWC Apprenticeship Office, Ms. Desi Holmes, was in attendance with me and addressed the foster youth, because she's been a long-standing partner with South Texas College, representing TWC and funding that we received. She declared that there will be money available starting next month, July, that would be appropriated specifically for this foster youth population here via South Texas College. So she has committed to allowing us to apply for this funding. Still competitive. This is not a guarantee of funding, but the money will be available for us to apply, and specify that we would be providing these training certifications, short-term micro-credentials to the foster youth population. And by the way, I know you mentioned aging out, but for this grant and for the purpose of our training programs, I would welcome some of the former foster youth who have aged out of the system to come back and receive some of this training. There is no age limit. We want to focus on the existing population, but those that have already aged out, they're more than welcome to apply for these programs as well.
Dr. Carlos Margot from South Texas College. He's the Dean of Industry, Training, and Economic Development at a time when we are witnessing industry expand at the most rapid rate ever in the Valley. We got like real private sector jobs. Port of Brownsville, Elon Musk, we got LNG, we got high tech starting to set up shop in the area. We're hoping for a lot more of that. Can you please review the top 3 skill sets that you're teaching right now that are in big demand at the moment, these kids can get training for and maybe start making money real soon?
Yes, and we do offer, of course, through our center here at STC, over 400 or 500 different training and certification programs. But I'm focusing on 3 major areas right now for the youth, and that's construction, IT, and advanced manufacturing.
Excellent.
Those including, and this is for the entire Rio Grande Valley. This is not just for Hidalgo Star. We can train people across the valley and provide these credentials to anybody. If you need to work, with this, at the port in Brownsville, if you need to work in Starr County, I mean, there's jobs. And here's the situation: there are thousands of graduates coming out of high school. There are thousands of unemployed individuals. Yet right now there are thousands of job openings across the Rio Grande Valley. Yeah, why do we have this gap? Yeah. It's the skill set. It's the skills. And again, we're offering these at no cost in 80 to 100 hours, some of these programs, they can walk out with a certification in OSHA. So they have safety certifications. They have credentials in advanced manufacturing. And again, in 6 months, they can enter into a job and be safe, productive, and efficient from day one for any of these employers that are looking for individuals right now.
When they receive the license or the accreditation or the hours that they need to do they enter the workforce side by side with a top expert who knows and can watch them progress in their career safely, like apprenticeship style as is referred to in the program?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we're focusing right now for the foster youth on pre-apprentice, because this is some of these may be high school students and may not be able to attend work full time. However, we are trying to accommodate, like I just finished a meeting with Zitro Electric. They want to hire some of these individuals as paid apprentices. I was just discussing this program with them. They came to us and said, look, we're willing to hire and pay prevailing wage for your students as they're apprenticing or apprentices. This program that I'm referring to is a pre-apprentice, which will bridge into registered apprenticeship programs, whereby they will be working full-time at that point. So these pre-apprenticeships is kind of a prep program for them, but at the same time, whatever credit they're earning while they're a pre-apprentice during these 80 hours, they can roll over and eventually become a full apprentice working full-time with an employer.
Terrific.
My goal right now is just to get them the classroom portion of it through these pre-apprenticeship certifications. Mm-hmm. That's what employers are looking for. They don't want somebody who's just completely green, and let us do the training. Let us get them to the point where they can step into your workplace and be safe and efficient again from day one. And that's what we're asking. At that point, I would recommend they become a full registered apprentice with the same employer, and the likelihood of that employer having turnover issues is reduced drastically. We just met with an employer recently just here in the Valley who said they're having trouble. They have a 98% turnover rate. I think, well, something's wrong there. And they came to us at the college asking for assistance. I said, well, we'll help in any regard related to training. Now, other issues, we can help with soft skills, leadership, management, supervision. If those are the issues, we can do that too. So I just need to have access to business and industry. And I really appreciate this opportunity, Sergio, because this is something that I just need to get this message out. It's completely paid for. The courses are short. They're rigorous, but they're short. And we're going to make sure that when they come out of these programs, whether it's manufacturing, construction, or IT, that they're going to represent South Texas College well, because those are our products right there that are going into the workforce. And if we can get them jobs while they're in the classroom in a pre-apprentice program, we're gonna push for that too. I mean, again, Zitro Electric just said right now and said we'll hire them starting this August if we can.
Yeah, big heads up to the managers and the business owners that I know listen to KURV radio. You guys in manufacturing, construction, and IT, and chances are you need help and you need people, and STC can get them trained quick, rigorous program, a pre-apprenticeship program. Dr. Carlos Margo, Dean of Industry, Training and Economic Development. He was at the local court that handles foster care issues, and had a chance to present these programs, these top 3 programs. Again, how many programs? Like 400 different programs, right, Carlos, that you have?
A total of over 400 or 500 different programs from which to choose.
Yeah.
Within a wide array of industries.
But in manufacturing and construction and IT, there's a huge demand in the Rio Grande Valley. It's a good problem to have. We got job openings all over, an expanding economy, prosperity and opportunity waiting for our kids. And man, what better solution for the issues that some of these foster kids are facing? They're older now. Is the youngest age 16 where the pre-apprenticeship program starts, Carlos?
Yes. That's the minimum age as required by Texas Workforce Commission and the U.S. Department of Labor, who oversees the program.
So you know of a foster care or a family that has a foster kid, 16 and older, even like Carlos said, some of these foster kids that have aged out of the system and they need a skill set that can make them money. And believe me, some of these job openings, they might be making more money than you pretty soon if they get properly trained and become full of apprentices in different fields. Manufacturing, construction, which is off the charts, and of course, information technology, anything IT. South Texas College can get them trained. How many kids did you speak to when you went to court and showed them the possibilities to get trained and get a skill set and start making money ASAP? How many, what kids did you speak to? You know?
Combining the people who were there in person, and there were some that were attending via Zoom. If I remember, I'm not sure exactly how many were online, but I would say approximately maybe 15 to 20 were in attendance, including their support people that were with them. So, and there was also other adults in the room too who were listening to the message and were also took interest in it as well. So, and this again, I do want to say, thanks to those who helped, such as Judge Villalon, who allowed us to do that, gave us access to the youth. Because this is a workforce ecosystem that requires a lot of different people working together. And one thing I made very clear, Sergio, at that presentation, I said, I don't want to walk away today from this courtroom addressing you and then everybody forgets the message. I need consistency. I need frequency of this message until we get you in the classroom. And then there's a persistence issue. I said, one thing is to start the class. The next thing is to successfully complete and get in the job. Yeah. That was my message then as well. And then, one thing led to another. Here I am talking about the program. I need this message to continue to stay alive and active because they're part of our community. Foster youth or youth in general, that's our workforce of the future. They're the ones who are going to be taking care of us later in life. And the sooner we can get them trained and in the work pathway of their choice and passion, the better everybody involved is going to be. The more likely they are going to stay, the sooner they'll be earning more money.
Yeah. And our kids can fill those jobs. Did they express interest and did they throw you some questions, some topics maybe you want to repeat real quick?
Yes. One of the youth actually asked if we could do welding. And I know I didn't emphasize welding as one of my top three that I was pitching. I didn't want to overwhelm them, but I definitely said yes. I said that is one of our more popular programs, and I did tell them yes, absolutely yes. And I had staff there, and I said sign them up. We'll get you. It won't be a pre-apprentice, but it'll definitely be a customized welding program that'll get them at the end an American Welding Society certification.
That's amazing, man. I can just imagine what's going through the minds of some of these kids to say they got a gig and they got the skill set from South Texas College as an example. They're welders or they know how to fuse steel or cut steel. They wind up over at SpaceX. They work on a rocket to be able to say, yeah, you see that thing going up into space? Yeah, I help make that. I help construct. Right. Isn't that crazy? That's beautiful times that we live in here in South Texas. How do folks contact you? Employers who need help and want to get some of these smart kids trained and employed, how do they contact you? Or maybe families that have foster kids and want to get this, or it's just kids in general, or just young people that need to get trained. How do they contact you?
Let me give you a phone number. That's to our main office at our Center for Advanced Training. It's 956-872-2770. And that person will direct the caller to the right. We have staff that knows about every program. If they want, even if it's something I haven't even mentioned, if they're interested in an RN program, then we'll get them in touch with the right department. But the point here is, and I appreciate this, because I need employers involved. I need more employers. Right now we work with about 100 different employers, but it's the usual suspects, the same 100 employers that have been working with us for over 20 years. And I appreciate them, but I need more. I need double that. I need more employers hiring these youth as apprentices. They must be paid as per US DOL requirements. And that's the whole point. They're earning while they're learning. We're teaching them, they're taking classes with us, and then they're learning in the workplace as well. Or if the employer wants to just wait until they finish the 6-month program, then hire them, however they want to do it. I just need more employer involvement in our programs.
The number is 872-2770, 872-2770. You'll reach the office of his associates and folks that can steer you in the right direction as an employer. Pick up some of these kids that can get trained real quick and be part of your team. Dr. Carlos Margot, Dean of Industry, Training, and Economic Development at South Texas College. Thanks for calling us, brother. You check in anytime.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, sir. News Talk 710 KURV is your station for Astros baseball. They did good. Already took the series from the Phillies. They got an afternoon game today, so Zach and Davis should give you updates on the drive home 4-6. Next game for the Astros on KURV. 6:40 tomorrow against the Cubs. King Tuck coming home, right? He's King Tuck. Kyle Tucker coming home tomorrow. Astros baseball made possible by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women and the Mission Economic Development Corporation. Check of sports up next.
Pain management specialist Dr. Dennis Slavin on severe recurring headaches.
Headaches are very common and have many different causes. They range from being a nuisance to severely incapacitating, where the headaches are interfering with family, work, and enjoying life. If your headaches have become severe and occur 15 days or more a month, a new FDA treatment I have may help you. Botulinum toxin, or Botox, is now FDA approved for the treatment of migraine headaches. Botox is applied to specific target areas that have been mapped after years of research to be triggers of migraine headaches. This treatment is safe, office-based, and is covered by most insurances, including Medicare. Botox not only makes you look better, but now, in my office, in under 15 minutes, Botox can make you feel better. Patients are amazed by the pain relief. They wonder why they waited so long to be feeling better at last.
Learn more about feeling better at last by signing on to feelingbetteratLast.com or call Dr. Slavin 973-0565.
If you own a business, listen up. You've put in the work. You've built something great. And now it's time to think of the future. I'm Sergio Sanchez for the Rioplex Business Exchange, helping small business owners across the RGV connect with serious buyers online, privately, locally. The Rioplex Business Exchange at only $34 a month will list your business. That's right, only $34 a month to put your business on the radar of qualified investors. No commission, no middlemen. You will also get access to free resources to learn your business's value, whether you're ready to sell or just exploring your options. Get 1 month free subscription with a discount code KURV. Visit RioplexBizX.com. That's RioplexBizX.com. Post your business, secure your legacy. Rioplex Business Exchange, where legacies find their next chapter.
Coming up after the Valley's Morning News, stay tuned for The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez, starting at 9, followed by The Dana Show with Dana Lash at 11 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Potami app.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
I'm Kevin Walker with your TSN Sports Minute Report. For their second straight win, the Houston Astros defeated the Philadelphia Phillies with a low-scoring blank by way of 2-0. For the Stros, it makes for their 7th win in 10 attempts and clinches their 8th straight series, minus 2 4-game series ties. Sitting nice in the AL West with a commanding 5.5-game advantage over the Seattle Mariners. Next up, they will wrap up the series with the Phils and have a chance to sweep at home.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball over the outside corner at 99, and DeGrom with his 7th strikeout.
It was another episode of Jacob DeGrom-nation yesterday at Camden Yards for the Texas Rangers as they took the series from the Baltimore Orioles with a 7-0 win. For his 16th appearance, DeGrom recorded 7 punch-outs, all on swing and miss attempts, as he carried a no-hit bid into the 8th inning. For DeGrom, it marks his 8th win of the season. A day off today before heading home to open a 6-game home stretch that starts with the Seattle Mariners. First pitch tomorrow night with Nathan Eovaldi on the bump is set for 7:05. With your TSN Sports Minute, I'm Kevin Walker.
Let's start in the NBA. First round of the draft is in the books. No surprise. Mavericks selected Duke star Cooper Flagg with the first overall pick. Spurs took Rutgers guard Dylan Harper second. Baylor's VJ Edgecombe third to the Sixers. Hornets selected Duke guard Con Knipple fourth. Rutgers guard Ace Bailey went to the Jazz to round out the top 5. Hornets traded center Mark Williams to the Suns for the 29th pick. They then took UConn guard Liam McNeely. That's sports. I'm Ronza Moss.
AccuWeather on News Talk 710 KURV. Highs today should be mid-90s. Chance of rain. Yeah, that's pretty much gone for the next couple of days. They're not expecting hardly anything. Next chance of rain should be this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. Right now it is, let's see, close to mid-70s across from South Texas. Let me go back to the website here at 710 KURV HQ. 76 degrees here in Mission, Texas. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. Brownsville, the only one reporting any activity right now, 30 minutes at the Gateway Bridge. The McAllen bridges still need a report. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Got business news, check of your money, including an effort by mortgage giants Fannie and Freddie. Cryptocurrency, your assets might play a role in buying a house in the near future. That's next on the Valley's Morning News. The Rio Grande Valley economic engine is the Port of Brownsville. And at the port right now, there are hundreds and hundreds of job openings. And I know that, for example, that conversation we had with South Texas College a moment back, at South Texas College and at other colleges, Texas Southmost, University, TSTC, even school districts, man, they're trying to churn out as many steel cutters, welders, folks in construction, and the basics like plumbing and electricity, all those experts trying to churn those out as quickly as possible because, man, we have hundreds of openings now, thousands on the way, thanks to the massive economic engine that is the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville with liquefied natural gas at Big Node, that $18 billion plus investment, that huge LNG node. Got another one on the way. Got steel operations expanding. They're building ships at the Port of Brownsville. And, of course, our neighbor, Elon Musk, down the street. He's hiring hundreds and hundreds of other people as well, just building left and right. Stay in the know of economic happenings in South Texas. It is amazing times we live in, and the center point where everything starts, it's the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. Visit the website, portofbrownsville.com. Sign up for the free newsletter.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in McAllen at 956-803-0058 and Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Meta has prevailed against a group of 13 authors in a major copyright case involving the company's Llama artificial intelligence model. The judge said the plaintiffs failed to present a compelling argument that Meta's methods caused market harm. District Judge Vince Chabria left the door open for other authors to bring similar AI-related copyright lawsuits against Meta in the future. Cybersecurity researchers have identified online data sets that contained a whopping 16 billion login credentials across multiple platforms, including Apple, Facebook, and Google. The scale of the findings has raised alarm about the growing prevalence of info-stealer malware. Oil prices are moderately higher as investors watch the Iran and Israel ceasefire. West Texas Intermediate currently sitting at $65.39 per barrel. Brent currently sitting at $68.08 per barrel. Futures are slightly higher. Wednesday, the Dow Industrials lost 106, the NASDAQ up 61. That's your money now.
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac may soon start counting your cryptocurrency assets, if you have some, and considering mortgage applications. The individual who oversees the guarantors posted on social media that the move is keeping with President Trump's vision of promoting crypto capital. said that businesses should be prepared for the new policy around the corner. AccuWeather says highs for today should be mid-90s. Same thing tomorrow. Chance of rain, no, not as good today and tomorrow. Better for the weekend, much better for the weekend. Right now, temperatures mostly mid-70s. It's 76 here at 710 KURV in Mission, Texas. Fox News coming up in 2 minutes on the Valley's Morning News. Also at Radio Para Mi. Look for 710 KURV at Radio Para Mi. Affording a home at the moment, yeah, it's a bit tough for some folks. That's because, well, the market is tight, and because there's still good demand for homes, tight market. Yeah, you can see those prices are going up. That's why you need the expert team of the Ryan and Brian real estate team behind you. Partner with them, so that way, because they know the market, they know the homes that are for sale across all of Deep South Texas. They can get you connected with a home that you want, including brand new, sweet-smelling homes. The Ryan and Brian real estate team, they're partners with one of the nation's top builders, Edwards Homes, affordable homes. With a limited inventory available right now for these new homes, yeah, you definitely need to start that conversation. Rates as low as 5.25% if you qualify. Edwards Homes and the Ryan and Brian real estate team connecting folks here in South Texas with brand new homes that are affordable and are beautiful. Start the conversation today at 956-540-2536. The website, ryanandbrian.com. That's ryanandbrian.com.
If you're selling your home, don't be trying. Call Ryan and Brian. Go to ryanandbrian.com.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
More than just the headlines.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
It is the Thursday edition of what is News Radio for South Texas, the Valley's Morning News. It is June 26th. Along with show producer Fred Cruz and AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine, I'm Sergio Sanchez. We start the morning mid-70s. Highs today should be mid-90s. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth defending the strikes in Iran in defending against the initial leaked report that the bombs didn't destroy Iran's nuclear capabilities. Also discussing,
because of decisive military action, President Trump created the conditions to end the war, decimating, choose your word, obliterating, destroying Iran's nuclear capabilities.
Also discussing,
he said NATO needs to pay up. They started in the first term, and here in his second term, we've accelerated that. 32 NATO countries committed to spending 5% of their GDP on defense, on actually investing in the NATO alliance.
America's listening to Fox News.
A suspect in a 2023 death of a San Benito Police Lieutenant Milton Descendis has entered a guilty plea. 25-year-old Rodrigo Axel Espinosa Valdez, originally charged with capital murder of a peace officer, but pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of murder on Tuesday. Espinosa Valdez was one of two individuals arrested after a pursuit in Cameron County that led to Resendez's death. The operator of the Texas power grid is trying to ease any concerns, saying there will be power in Texas even during the very hot summer.
It's looking like another long, hot Texas summer, but the ERCOT board was told this week that the risk of rolling brownouts is very low.
We're showing less than 1% chance of getting into an energy emergency.
Christy Hobbs with the Electric Reliability Council says that a lot has changed since last summer when the risk was a lot higher. The state, she says, has added about 10,000 megawatts of power, mostly from solar and batteries.
Researchers are working to turn a deadly fungus into a potent cancer fighter compound, according to a full write-up in Nature, the journal Nature. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania, they say they recently used a fungus. They isolated some molecules, put it into leukemia cells, and destroyed those cells. The researchers say the next step is for them to do some animal trials. A federal judge rejecting claims that Meta violated copyright when training its artificial intelligence model.
On Wednesday, the judge ruled against 13 authors who claimed Meta violated their copyrights when it allowed its Llama language model to be trained using their books. The judge concluded the company's use of the books falls under fair use. Despite this, he appeared open to arguments that if the AI model used original works to create knockoff versions, that likely wouldn't fall under fair use. The ruling comes as dozens of lawsuits have been filed against AI companies on behalf of copyright holders that are concerned about AI models using their works. I'm Mark Mayfield.
I want to say thank you to Total Imaging Solutions, my friend Martin Rando, Total Imaging Solutions. They provide us the daily People Poll question on KURV. If you would like to comment on that People Poll, like leave a comment, producer Freddie says you need to use your WhatsApp app. So open it up, record a message, and then forward it to our number, our 710 KURV WhatsApp number, which is 956-862-2482. That's 862-2482, 710 KURV on WhatsApp.
Spotlight on Your Health, brought to you by DHR Health.
Co-medical director for DHR Health Rehab Hospital, double board certified in physical medicine and rehabilitation, Dr. Francisco Cesati.
Physiatry is the specialty in medicine that focuses more so on function of a patient. Most specialties will focus on fixing a specific organ. In physiatry, you're looking at the whole body, you're looking at the whole person. For example, a stroke, you're going to have certain chronic conditions or sequela that you're going to have to deal with in the long term. And that's where physiatry comes in. So physiatry will look at how to manage bowel or bladder complications after a stroke or a spinal cord injury, a traumatic brain injury, and deal with the deficits in ambulation or when you're moving around your upper extremities. How can we maximize your function at this point? It's all about how can we get you back to where you were before, or how can we create a new way of doing things for you so that you can remain independent. Acute Rehab Hospital in itself is a kind of a unique experience. You're looking both at the medical aspect of a patient and how they're recovering from that, as well as the functional aspect. So that means the rehab. There's technology available that's only available in an acute rehab hospital. And one of the reasons I joined DHR was because they're in the forefront of some of this technology that we use in the inpatient gyms. Most advanced technologies such as Serial G track, where you are able to start walking, essentially put the weight off of you, but you can still walk. The bottom line is, how can we stimulate your...
Summer is heating up, and so is our local economy. From sizzling business deals to community connections, News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app are here to keep you in the know. Download the Radio Potami app to stay informed and entertained. Whether it's local market updates, summer events, or the weather, we've got you covered. Support local, stay connected, and tune in to the pulse of Rio Grande Valley business. News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app.